Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to our third session of basic three-person officiating. Georgia, if you could take us through our introductions.
Welcome back, everybody, to our session 3. I cannot believe that we are halfway done, and I appreciate you coming in, and thank you to Stacey and Dave again for all of their hard work and energy into putting this project together. Tonight, we have 3 special presenters with us. I would like to welcome OUA official Mark Zeleznik with us. Mark has been an integral part of our consistency panel since the very start and has helped out a lot, so I welcome him. I welcome Nate Saunders, FIBA nominated game official licensee, and also OUA official. And also congratulations to him. He was selected to go to the U19 Men's World Championship in Latvia this summer. And we also like to welcome Nadine Crowley. She's the chair of CBOC Development and Education, as well as a FIBA referee instructor, and also going to the Olympics this year. So we welcome everybody and thank you very much. Just a housekeeping item. Please, if you can, turn off your cameras and your microphones just to help with bandwidth in regards to the videos. That would be much appreciated. And as well, when we're watching the videos and we're watching our fellow officials, it is meant as a learning opportunity for us to grow and learn together. Thank you, Dave.
Okay, just want to remind everybody of our objectives, and they haven't changed. Okay, we want to create consistency throughout Ontario. Okay, we want to implement the FIBA language, and we want to make all the information accessible to all interested parties. And all the information is referenced directly from the FIBA manual for referees, basic three-person officiating, version 1. So we're going to dive right into our first topic of tonight, and that is going to be rotation. So Nadine, could you take us through the start of the rotation?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dave, and thank you very much for inviting me to take part in this great initiative. So, talking about rotations, we talked a bit about last week, but I'll be talking about sort of the need, the timing, the proper techniques of a rotation in three-person officiating. So, really, to work successfully as a crew, plays involving the ball are to be covered by the strong side officials, which are the lead and trail. So 3PO has certain rotational movements that allows the lead to change positions or to rotate along the end line or baseline to the other side of the court. So really, for that reason, the rotation is sort of defined as a situation when the movement or location of the ball causes the lead to always initiate and dictate the rotation and initiates the change of positioning. It's very crucial that the lead is always looking for reasons to rotate, not looking for reasons not to rotate. Having an active mindset, remember, keeps the 3PO coverage active in the front court and ensuring that we have 2 referees on the ball side as much as possible. So just to talk about the active mindset for a second, you always have to be ready. As a referee, it's about being ready. And good refs are constantly analyzing the movements and actions of players in order to be in position to see something illegal. So looking for reasons to call. So that's why we want 2 referees on the ball side as much as possible. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, so rotations continue. Nadine, you're still up.
I'm still up. Yep. Yeah. So we're looking at the following techniques to help bring forth a successful rotations. The first one is having the proper distance to rotate, which means, you know, getting to close down, which reduces the distance Just on the edge.
They're just on the edge, right? I think the defender's over here. But if we look at our setup positions, so I think the question was if we have everybody in, our crew has done a really good job of setting up. I don't have the new lead in the clip, but I think the crew's done a really good job of setting up and ready to referee this play.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we lose it a little bit at the end there, but if you have a look at our positioning, like Dave was talking about, our center official has fully remained at almost at their foul line extended position and has the matchups fully within their view. Like we mentioned, we can't see the lead official, but they're not on the end line just yet. They have hung out just beyond the center line. And then as the play moves, our center official does a great job of maintaining space and getting ahead of the ball into the play. And just at the end, you can catch that our lead official has made their way to the end line and turned to be able to accept the play as it comes up the floor.
Okay. In our next clip.
All right. So this is our second scenario where we have fewer players in the backcourt. We're dealing with
Pause.
two matchups.
Yeah, pull it back to the start.
Perfect. You just go back to the beginning there. That's great. So if we pause it here and have a look, again, our trail referee is maintaining distance and staying on the end line until the ball has come into play. Our center official has stayed behind and is refereeing in the backcourt, the two matchups. As in this scenario, we could probably move our center up just a little bit further, probably to the throw-in line. But again, as the play progresses, we move up the floor, we will catch sight of our lead official, and they have done a great job of getting down the floor and getting to their setup position so that as the play advances, our lead official is already in position. And because the ball is on the weak side, our lead official is in that closed down position and ready to move if necessary. So we've got good coverage by all three officials on their way down the floor.
So a couple of things, just while we look at this clip, and we've talked about them in earlier slides, is this new trail official waits until the ball is advanced. And I think somebody had a question about, looking over your shoulder. Like these are the things that I kind of notice in clips is this official, looking over her shoulder, but tilting her shoulders towards the court to not running with her shoulders down facing the end line, but actually tilting her body towards the court to have that good look in. So they are running down the court, but they are facing the court, which is like something that I picked up. You see how this official has tilted their shoulders towards the court just to make sure that they're staying focused to the court where they're supposed to be.
Can you keep it there, Dave?
Yep, sorry, sure. I'll just right there.
Right there. No, back it up.
Back it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
I want the trail and the green. All right. So what we also want to see from the trail, so the trail waited nicely and came off the end line once the ball was in transition up the court, but we want to make sure that the trail is not running up the middle of the court. I want to make sure that the trail stays in the third of the court, so it should be on the other side of that lane line in that trail area. That's right. So there's no need to be running up the middle of the court. You want to stay put, because if there's a fast turnover, and some of us have been caught there before,
Yes. Yes, we have.
We could be an extra defender in the midst of that play. So you want to make sure you're refereeing in the trail zone there, and not running up the middle of the court. Okay.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Thanks. Lots of great tips here for us.
Yeah.
When we do get back on the court, which I think is going to be sooner rather than later. Okay, so, all right. Let's click over that. Okay, so questions and reminders. Are there any questions? Georgia, if you could run that, if you have any. You're on mute, Georgia.
There is a question, but I think you answered it in regards to if C is responsible for fully across the court, should they maintain the 45-degree angle seen in the diagram?
Not too hot, it's gonna sting.
I think that has been cleared up, but if anybody would like to add or build on that.
Yeah, Nadine, that's sort of a misconception or something that crews talk about. Like, what is on a transition or fast break, the center's responsibility for the other side of the court, right? Like, are they responsible for the other side of the court on a transition or a fast break?
Yeah, their responsibilities stretch all the way across the court. So what could happen is that when the ball's coming up the court and say there's a long pass, right? And it's in the middle of the court. So if center is actively aware of where the players are, the center should be on top of that, because that is the next active area, right? And that's the area that the center should be covering. So if there's a pass and maybe a defender moves under the offensive player who's trying to catch the ball, or maybe sets a screen on a player who's not looking, that is something that the center can pick up, or even an unsportsmanlike foul, right? Those are things that the center can pick up all the way across to the other sideline, in order to help with the play in transition.
Great. Yeah, you know what? That's what we need. All our crews to know, right? In their in transition, and this is things that we need to cover in our pregame to make sure that we know what we're doing in a transition play from trail, center, and lead. Thanks very much, both of you. That was awesome.
Dave, we still have one more
Sure,
couple
go
more
ahead.
questions.
Yep.
So during the fast break, is this the only time the lead should or can be calling across the key?
I think Nate, is it okay if I take this, Nate?
Yeah, sure.
During a fast break, if the play is coming down center side, on the fast break, the center has that play. Okay. The lead shouldn't have to call across the key unless the center releases the play, doesn't have a call on it, but the lead does see illegal contact when the play is going to the basket. And if it's a secondary defender. So if it's an obvious miss by the center, and the lead has observed illegal contact by the defender or offensive player, then yes. But we do not promote the lead calling across the key.
Yeah, I would have just said the same thing. A couple of key things have to be, in place there. Again, fast break, the center, either passing on obvious contact, a miss or something, so a lot of things kind of have to align.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if the lead has to make that call, you're there, you're probably the closest official to it. Yeah, you'd have to call a call. It does or can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And one more, Georgia, or is that everything?
I think that's it.
Okay, so just want to remind everybody that all the information from the presentation is from the FIBA 3-person manual and the FIBA IoTs, and both of these can be found on Game Plan. I also want to remind everybody of the Super Clinic, May 29th and May 30th. Make sure you sign up for that. Get your Zoom account or ID or whatever. I signed up for it the other day. It's a pretty easy process. One thing I'd like to just end with is like, this is why we look at clips, like newer officials, you know, that are just starting out in 3-person. You know, if you get a chance to look at clips and break it down with your crews, which I think is important, that you all have a look at it and look at things maybe you could do better. And remember, we're looking at things for us to improve. All right. We're not looking at, was this the right call or was this a wrong call or the judgment on this? What we're looking at is, what things that we can do to improve our position, our crew chemistry, and be consistent regardless of what we're doing or who we're working with. I'd like to thank everybody that was on the call. I really appreciate your time. I know it's a beautiful night. So I hope you enjoyed this one.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nate, Nadine, and Mark for taking the time to share your knowledge, your energy, and also your insight. And Dave and Stacey, thank you again for putting this together. We have our last session next week and hope to see you then. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys. Great job.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.